Chat Place YouTube channel and throughout social media. We'll get you out here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. And that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time is our live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and at Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek here at who's on the show with us today. All right, with us is Mitch. Wednesdays with Mitch. Hoping to hear from Dana Lane. And we've got Sean Murphy. We got Chris Ruffolo, we got Big Al McMordie, and Rod Zawacky. Here's how they'll line up for this evening. We got Ruffolo, McMordie, Murphy, Zawacky, Lane, Mitch, and then I will close this one out. Got our date baseball in. They got it out of the way. You just got to get that Reds and the Pirates game out of the way. Don't mess up prime time. So we got the games in prime time for you. About a 14 game remaining here for Major League Baseball. A lot of coverage today as we're on the heels of another football weekend beginning tomorrow. So let's get this one underway. Let's go ahead and welcome into the show Chris Ruffolo. You find him over at Pick Dogs Spring, where he's a part of the morning crew every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So let's bring in Chris. Chris, what's happening?
Tony, who needs a sleeping pill when you got the Reds and Pirates? That's a great Wednesday afternoon. But no, like you said, tons of great action today. I'm glad Cincinnati and Pittsburgh didn't mess it up for us.
Yeah, didn't mess it up. They got it out of the way, and they extended it with that 3-run inning by the Reds in the ninth to just try to even make it even worse. We had to take this one extra innings, didn't we? All right, but anyway, here's a good one tonight. Here, we'll see if the Yankees are hungover. Poor Garrett Cole. He goes on the mound after the day after the clinch. Let's see what they do here. Yankees here on the road here facing the Blue Jays. Yankees minus 125, total of 7.
Tony, I'm going to play the world's smallest violin for Garrett Cole. I mean, I've always said that I don't think he's a $35 million a year pitcher, and the recent results have shown that. I mean, you look at his last few starts. His last 3 starts, he's given up 4 runs in each. Yeah, he's going 6 innings, but is he really pitching, like I said, like a $35 million a year pitcher? I don't think so. When you look at the New York Yankees, they announced their lineup. You still got Aaron Judge, Josh Donaldson in there, Aaron Hicks in the 9th spot, Higashioka. Guys that we've seen in the Yankees lineup, but definitely not their strongest lineup. But that being said, you don't necessarily need a strong lineup against Mitch White, who has an ERA up over 7 since joining the Toronto Blue Jays. I've said before that move for Toronto was a head scratcher. I know you had to bolster the rotation a little bit. Maybe you had to find someone to replace Yusei Kikuchi, but I don't think Mitch White was that guy, but that's neither here nor there. For tonight, I think that matchup, everything that I just mentioned, I think this is pushing us to an over 7. I thought this total was low to begin with, and that's when I thought, that even, if the Yankees were playing, their full lineup, I thought it was still too low. And even with the announced lineup for the Yankees, like I said, missing those guys that I mentioned, I still think it's too low. I think that the Toronto Blue Jays offense is going to get a few runs off of Garrett Cole. I expect the Yankees to get a few off of Mitch White here. Maybe we see number 61 from Aaron Judge, but no matter which way you slice it, I'm going with the over 7 in this one.
All right, we got Chris here going over the total here. 7 runs Yankees here and the Blue Jays. And, of course, Mitch White has been a major disappointment. I was scratching your head. I mean, you really want to get sick to your stomach? Take a look at what the Blue Jays gave up for him. And look at the quality of those prospects. It was incredible what they gave up for him.
I didn't want to talk about that, but I guess now that you kind of twist my arm, it was one of the heists of the century for the Los Angeles Dodgers in terms of what they got for Mitch White. The Toronto Blue Jays pride themselves on their farm system, and for them to pry away some prospects like that for Mitch White of all people, it shows the desperation that Toronto had at the time. And I said the move was a head scratcher, but then when you go in, like you said, and you dig around at what the Jays actually gave up for him, I'm appalled as a Blue Jays fan. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, anyone who follows the Dodgers know that he really wasn't set to go deep in games. 4 or 5, that's what they do. 4 or 5 inning pitcher, not really. You can't extend him very much. He's going to tax your bullpen. We've seen that. That's what they do with these young guys. Even Urias came in. He was a 4-inning pitcher, a bullpen guy. They didn't want to extend him too deep. We've seen how they do it same with May, and the kids are bringing it up now. They're not going more than 5 innings. I mean, that's what they do. You're not going to get much from Mitch. He's going to pretty much tax your bullpen. This situation here, he's going to expose the Blue Jays bullpen in this game.
Well, not only that, but you also see they're doing that with Michael Grove now too. Michael Grove, and the next one up in that sort of chain of 4 to 5 inning Dodger pitchers that are sort of just the long reliever, if you will, not necessarily the opener that goes 1 inning and hands it off to the middle reliever. They're doing this sort of that extended opener thing, and that's, like I said, that's where you're seeing Michael Grove. But Mitch White never really excelled in that spot, and now he's carrying that lackluster resume over to Toronto, and I don't know. Toronto, their magic number to clinch is, I think, is 1 tonight. They could clinch their playoff spot at home for the first time since '93. I don't know if it's going to happen tonight with Mitch White, though, to be honest.
Yeah, Mitch White, a little head scratcher, no doubt. Yankees, Blue Jays over total here of 7. This one have a start time here of. Now this one is going to get started here at top of the hour here in this one with the Blue Jays and Yankees. All right, Chris, let's take a look at Pick Dogs being for tonight. As we said, we got the Pirates Reds out of the way, so there's 14 games remaining here on the card. Actually, no, I'm lying. There's 13 games because Cleveland starts to start these games at 6 o'clock again. So here we go. 13 games on the board here for Major League Baseball. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium? It's like April over again.
Yeah, right, exactly. For tonight, I got my $15 pickoff play still on the board. We fell short yesterday. The Mets decided not to get off the bus for us, but been on a run with that pickoff play. I think we're like 25-8 in our last 33. So hop on board, because when we fall down, we get right back up, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen tonight. We get to start a new streak. But if you're looking for something today, grab the pickoff play for $15, or hop on some long term. The 3-day will get you into college football, because we usually have our plays up Friday night. If you get the week, you're getting NFL action, and into the stretch run of the postseason. The month will get you postseason baseball, and get you. We're almost into that point where we'll get you NHL, NBA, and even starting to look towards college basketball as well. Use that promo code WIN15. I'll tell you 15% off. Get the best bang for your buck, and use that over at Pick Dogs Premium, whether it's just for me or with someone else that's part of the 2-for-1 capper promotion. Can't go wrong.
Relax, Chris. College football, college basketball. Relax, brother. We're still 2 months away.
You know as well as I do. You blink, in 2 weeks, we will be having to talk that it's within a month.
That's right. It will be within a month. It's getting nuts. We're getting to that time of the season.
Don't be yelling at me about getting ahead of myself. You know as well as I do. We blinked and September went by.
Oh, it was a tough September, man, with this baseball. Let me tell you something. All right, anyway, Chris, we're over at Pick Dogs Premium. You got his $15 pickup play up there right now, so get on board with it. He's been doing well with this play. Also, credit guarantee, which means it must turn a profit, or the amount you purchase is credited back into your account for side credits. That's what credit guarantee means. So he's got that pickup play up there right now over at Pick Dogs. Also, as he's mentioned, the long-term pass will serve you well. The 1-month pass is a great value right now with all these sports overlapping. You got, of course, not to mention the Major League Baseball, the postseason. That'll get you right near the start of the World Series. Maybe get you a few games of the World Series with that 1-month pass, as well as all his college football, all his NFL. And, of course, don't forget the NHL. Hey, they're playing NHL preseason again. I'm going to one game tonight, and we're 2 weeks away from the start of the season. Actually, a week away from the start of the season here. We're 2 weeks away from the start of the NBA season, so it's coming quickly here, guys. So get on board here with Chris Ruffolo over at Pick Dogs Premium, as you want to get on board with that 1-month all sports pass. You get all of Chris's plays for that period of time you select. When you go to his handicapper page and make that purchase on that 1-month pass, the promo code WIN15 takes off 15% off that price, $45 off that 1-month all sports pass. You can also add a second capper with that 2-for-1 cap promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Chris, as always, great having you show. Continue that great work, and we'll tune in every day. It's 10 a.m. Eastern time with the morning show.
Absolutely, Tony. Look forward to seeing everybody there. Appreciate you having me on.
You got it, Chris Ruffolo here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue our coverage here, as it's now time to welcome in Big Al McMordie. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs Premium, where he's done some great work up there. The units have been strong again in 2022. He was a top unit producer at Pick Dogs for 2021 and on fire again for this season. So let's bring in Big Al McMordie right now. Big Al, how's it going?
Sorry, I was on mute. It's going great. No complaints.
All right, great to hear from you. Here we go, 9:40 Eastern time. We have the Padres here to host the Dodgers. This Dodgers now sit at 142. Total sits here at 7.5.
Yeah, this is one of those games where everything points one direction. Sometimes as a handicapper, you get a little bit, but you still got to pull the trigger on it. I guess it's the everything points toward the Dodgers and Julio Urias against Joe Musgrove and the Padres. Musgrove's made 8 starts in his career versus Los Angeles. And he's a really good pitcher, but he's 0-6 in those 8 starts versus LA. He has a 5.11 ERA. This year, he's made 2 of those 8 starts. He's given up 7 runs and 4 home runs over 12 and a third innings. So it's not getting any better for Musgrove. In contrast, Julio Urias, he's made 9 starts versus the Padres. He's 6-1 in those games with a 2.59 ERA and a 0.94 WHIP. This year, he's made 3 starts versus the Pods. He's allowed just 4 runs over 18 innings for a 2.0 ERA. So it's a favorable pitching matchup for The Dodgers, they're also in this price range. They've excelled. They're 21-4 as a road favorite when priced from -125 to -175 with Urias on the hill. Padres are 6-10 at home off a win if Musgrove is the starter, and that's -11.7 net game. So we'll take the Dodgers off that loss last night to bounce back at -$1.42, $1.45 in that range.
Yeah, they'll go there with the Dodgers here. Can't argue that. The Dodgers really having some struggles hitting lefty, and Snell's a kind of a sneaky guy. Really wasn't getting much run support. One of those guys with good advanced numbers and bad results, but I think it's starting to turn around for Snell a little bit, so it didn't surprise me there. Of course, with Urias, man, this guy's been a money pitcher. I know you were giving off some stats. I saw one here that said Urias 27-7 as a road favorite of -110 or higher the past 2 seasons. So he's just been money here on the road.
He's been money on the road. He's been money at home. He's just, he's one of my favorite pitchers in baseball. I just love watching that kid pitch.
Yep, and they're going to definitely need him here this postseason here. The Dodgers -142 here against the Padres. This one will have a start time here of 9:40 Eastern time. All right, Big Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium for tonight. They're showing great results here. Nearly 3,200 units of profit for 2022. That is all documented over at Pick Dog. You can verify those numbers by going to Al's handicapper page and go down and check out pick history. You'll see every play that Big Al has released. It's fully documented. Okay, 13 game card here for Major League Baseball. Headed into a football weekend tomorrow, beginning tomorrow. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I'm going to have a lot. I've got one baseball play tonight. I'm not one of those guys that plays every Thursday night, every Sunday night, every Monday night game. I treat the games like anything else. If it's going to be a play on, it has to be a play. So I don't really have a ton of those, primetime games. But I love the Thursday night game tomorrow. It'll be my NFL Thursday night game of the month. On Saturday, I'll have 9 plays in football. I'm off to a 27-19 start this football season. And I think it's 10-6 on the top rated plays. So having a strong year thus far. So I have 9 plays on Saturday, including my college football total of the month. Last week, we had our total of the month for September cash with the under in Toledo, San Diego State. Looking ahead to Sunday, I'm going to have 5 plays. I'm going to have 4 plays on Sunday for sure. So looks to be a really strong football card this week, and folks can, team me up with one of the other champion handicappers here, like Sean or Chris or Tony, and under the 2-for-1 handicapper special, and it's a great bargain.
That's right, guys. Again, we're board here with Big Al McMordie over at Pick Dogs. Remember, you see numbers here. Nearly 3,200 units of profit here for 2022. It's also documented another great football season this year, another great college football season showing profit as well. So get on board here with Big Al McMordie. He does have a pennant chase crusher up there. If you're looking for a play for Big Al tonight, that's up on the board as well as his long-term passes. We've talked about the value there with the long-term, where you get tremendous value there. If you want to get on board with one of Big Al's 1-month all sports pass, you get all of Big Al's plays, premium plays for 1 month. That'd be all his NFL, all his college football, of course, the baseball, and the regular season, as well as the postseason. This will take you right to the beginning of the World Series when you get that 1-month all sports pass. Also, we'll see if Big Al, if he delves into NBA, this will be probably take you into the first 11 days of the NBA season.
Yeah, the early season NBA is one of my favorite times. I tend not to give out plays early in hockey and baseball, but in the NBA, it's the easiest time of the entire NBA season is the first 2 weeks of the NBA season. So I'm always heavy in the NBA then.
A lot of roster turnover, coaching changes. It's some of the things you can pick up in preseason. I remember when Nash went to the Suns. Now the Suns had that 1 year where they just were blowing away teams in the preseason. They were a good bet early on. This was maybe about 10 years ago, if not longer.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. Yeah, a lot.
Maybe longer.
And that's. I remember, because I follow the Spurs religiously, and I remember watching the Spurs in the preseason. This is when Popovich retooled the offense, like around 2000, I think the 2011-2012 season. And I thought the Spurs were going to be really good because they were changing their offense. And I think I got them that year at like 40-1. They didn't win it, though, but that was the year that they went on the 20-game win streak and then lost 4 in a row to Oklahoma City and that I thought was one of the best Spurs teams ever, that he just happened not to win it that year. But you can pick up a lot of things in the preseason. Yeah,
you certainly can. I think it was when D'Antoni matched up with Nash. That might have been 15 18 years ago. This one's some time ago.
Yeah,
time's flying. It's flying. But yeah, that was one of that I remembered there. And the lines were really bad at the beginning of that year with Phoenix, and they just went on a tear when D'Antoni.
Oh, was that the year that they started like 9-0 or something crazy? Yeah. I remember I went against them one game. I think the Chicago Bulls against them and got my ass kicked.
And you could tell in the preseason when the D'Antoni system with Nash, how they were just pounding teams, and it was just take them all the way, and they did really well that season. But anyway, guys, that 1 month pass, get on board. As Big Al says, he's going to be in action here in the NBA. You'll get 11 days of NBA here with that 1 month all sports pass, as well as all the baseball postseason up to the World Series, as well as the football. So get on board there. Instead of buying all the plays individually, get that 1 month pass. Use the promo code WIN15 at checkout.
Yeah, if you join for a month, it comes out to maybe about $5 a play. But if you join for a year, it's maybe $1.10 a play. So the longer you join, the greater value.
Yeah, and also to the greater value when you use that promo code WIN15 because that's a significant discount. $300 off that 1 year all sports pass when you use the promo code WIN15 at checkout. All right, Big Al, as always, great having you show. Keep up the great work, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
Okay, thanks, Tony. Good luck to you.
You got it. Big Al McMordie here on the drive. We've seen a lot of people sign in here. If you miss any of our picks, we will do a complete recap at the end of the show. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here. It's time to welcome in Sean Murphy. If I'm over at Pick Dogs Premium, we'll bring him in right now. It's going to be looking at this Houston and Arizona game, which I found kind of amazing today on this board here. We've got 3 games lined with a total of about 6.5 tonight. Sean, what's happening?
Hey, Tony. How's it going?
It's going great. All right, here we go. What a pitching matchup this is. 8 Eastern time. Astros to host the Diamondbacks. Houston here, minus 170, total 6.5.
Yeah, so you mentioned the total here. When I sent it along to you earlier today, we were looking at a 6.5. Now I think it's down to 6 at a lot of books. So it seems like bettors have finally maybe started to catch up here with Zach Gallen. For the D-backs, he's having a career year, obviously. 2.51 ERA, 0.90 WHIP. Last time out against the Dodgers in Los Angeles, 8 innings, 1 earned run on 2 hits, struck out 13, didn't walk a batter. So he's obviously in excellent form here. And you go back over his last 9 starts, the unders cashed in 6 of those games, and he's given up only 6 earned runs in 60 2/3 innings. So, we've seen he's had a great season from the start, but he's kind of really turned it on here down the stretch. And then tonight he's going to be matched up against Justin Verlander. We know what we're going to get from Verlander, but he also has the advantage here of having not faced the D-backs since 2018. So, so they're getting their first look at him. A lot of these hitters for the D-backs haven't seen him before, so it's it sets up well for him. He's got a 1.78 ERA. 0.91 WHIP in 13 home starts this season. Last 4 starts, like Gallen, he's been excellent lately. 20 innings, he's given up just 2 earned runs on 9 hits, struck out 29 and walked only 2 over that stretch. So, we're talking about 2 of the kind of premier pitchers in the National League here tonight in this matchup. So you can understand why the total has dropped here to 6. Additionally, the bullpens, Astros bullpen, 2.09 ERA, 0.97 WHIP. Home, 23 saves, converted only 6 blown. So, the D-backs bullpen always a bit of a concern, but I think Gallen, he's been showing the ability to work deep into these games, so not overly concerned about that. I liked it a little more at 6.5 earlier today, but if we have to play it under 6, I still don't mind that play.
Well, you can find 6.5 in a lot of books right now. It's about half the market right now at 6.5. As a matter of fact, one of the sharp books at 6.5, some juice, 6.5 on the Vegas Strip. They're still holding 6.5 at some of the books in offshore, but we are seeing the movement here to that 6 number. But you can definitely shop and get the 6.5. Yeah, it's just Gallen is amazing, and it's just kind of, I knew it at the time when Florida gave him up. I could not believe. Again, we talked about crazy trades. We're talking about this Mitch White trade, but Florida giving this kid up. Well, that was one of the head scratchers. I could not believe when he was traded to Arizona. That was just crazy.
Yeah, you see a lot of these trades. If we go back over the years, so often teams will just trade their blue chip prospects away, and you never quite know how they're going to work out, especially in baseball. When you look at these high draft picks, sometimes don't end up working out. You get the lower picks that do, and it's just the way they progress. And it's a much longer game with the baseball prospects compared to other sports. So never quite know for sure what you're going to get. But with Gallen, yeah, it seems like he's really just put it together this season. And it's been, as the year goes on, it's impressive when you get down the stretch here, considering how many innings he's worked, that he's been that sharp over those last 9 starts. I think his last start against the Dodgers might have been, that might have been his most dominant start of the season. And I believe 3 of his last 5 starts, he's had double-digit strikeouts. So, tough matchup here against the Astros, obviously, but I think this is his first start against them this year. So, he's got the advantage also in that sense.
I think it was 2019 when Greinke went to Houston. People thought that was the best trade. I was telling, no, that was Gallen going to Arizona. No, that was one of those under-the-radar trades. No one, because we do this every day, and we looked at his numbers, and I don't know, everybody made such a big deal with Greinke going over to Houston. I said, no, that's not the best trade by far. Wait till you watch this Gallen kid, how he came in, and he's really coming into his own. Diamondbacks, Astros under 6.5. This one to have a start time here, 8 each time. Do your shopping, because there are 6.5s out there. There are some books there, but you guys know better. You got to have more than one book. More than one account. All right, Sean, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Premium here for tonight's action. Great results here in college football. Nearly 1,200 units of profit. That is all documented over at Pick Dodge Premium and college football for this year. Also showing great profit here in the NFL. And last year was profitable in NBA and NHL. Look at this, a 4-season man here, just kicking some butt here in these big sports, guys. So get on board here with Sean Murphy. All right, also showing profit last 30 days, last 7 days. Yesterday, 13-game card here from Major League Baseball remains for us here, as well football beginning tomorrow. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, so as usual, I like to get my college football up early in the week. So I've got 4 primetime plays going the next 2 nights in college football, and I believe I have 3 or 4 plays posted so far for Saturday. We'll have the rest of that card up by the end of the day tomorrow. College football is off to a 25-12-1 start, so looking to build off a winning year last year. And it's been a great start. Last Saturday we went 6-1, so hope to build on that this week. Hope to have 5 to 7 plays on Saturday in college football. We might top out at 5. We'll see. It's a little Saturday card, in my opinion, this week. But we'll look to keep it going. And NFL's on an 11-4 run. Got off to a bit of a slow start there, but then we've turned it around and we're in the profit here this year. So yeah, it's all been good. And I just put up a package today, a monthly NFL and college football package, if you're just interested in those 2 sports, because I know some folks aren't interested in the baseball, and it's just the football that they want. So that's available as well. So lots of options out there.
That's right, guys. Again, we're with Sean Murphy over at Pick Dogs Premium. Look at the numbers here in college football this year: 1,180 units of profit. But there's just not a space to put all the numbers. To be honest with you, this would be way too many. But anyway, great numbers here in NFL this year. As we said, coming off great season, the NHL and NBA, and those seasons are staring us in the face right now as well. Profit last 30 days, 7 days. Yesterday, as I said. A lot of action here from Sean. He's got the college football action up here, the ESPN game on Thursday. He's got a total of the week from the ACC, a Pac-12 game of the year. A lot of revenge angle that he has up there. NFL Thursday night. Lots of action right there on his page right now. So get on board with Sean Murphy, as he's got even some Saturday afternoon. It looks like late afternoon action as well. Saturday's games are up there. So get on board. It's been a great start. I think NFL and college football season here for Sean, and as Sean mentioned, he has put together his NFL and college football full season pass right now. You get all of Sean's NFL and college football premium plays. These passes also include the postseason, so we're into the bowl games, the playoff games for both NFL and college football on that 2-season pass from NFL and college football. You could go that route, and as well as a 1-year all sports pass. Look, the way Sean's performing in NBA and NHL, you may as well just get the 1-year pass from Sean. He's been killing it right now. So guys, get on board that 1-year pass. Use that promo code WIN15 at checkout. That takes 15% off that price. So let's see, that's 27. That's $1,700 off that price point right there. I'm sorry, not that much. What are we talking about? We're talking about here 10%. That would be 18. We're looking at about $270 off that price point right there on that 1-year all sports pass. So get on board here with Sean Murphy. WIN15 is the promo code. Get signed up. You see the numbers, fantastic numbers here in NFL, college football, NBA, and NHL from last season. This 1 year, we'll get you the entire premium picks here from Sean for one full year. So get on board. All right, Sean, as always, great having you show. Keep up that great work, and we'll talk with you again next week. If not sooner,
right,
you should be
thanks a
on
lot,
more of
Tony.
these shows. The way you're running, they should put you on the weekends. Get you back on those Saturday.
Well,
Sundays.
I hope to get back on. Yeah, I'm hoping this weekend I'll be back on the weekend show for at least one of the 2 days, and then hope to get a more steady schedule going forward. So look forward to it.
All right, send an email to Chris and Mitch, or Chris or Mitch, and get that done, man. Get that done. All right, have a great night. Sean Murphy here on the drive-thru.
All right, thanks, Tony.
You got it. Sean Murphy here on the drive-thru. Guys, if you missed any of our picks, we'll do a complete recap here at the end of the show, so make sure you stay tuned for that. All right, next up here is Rod Zawacky. Let's bring in Rod right now. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs Premium, where he does great work over there. Let's bring in Rod Zawacky in right now. Let's see where we got him. We've got some baseball for him today. He gave us a nice NHL winner a couple nights ago. And let's see where we got here. Not going to try to prime one. He's getting baseball for us tonight. Rod, what's happening?
Not too much. I heard something about Prime. You're going to have to prime me a little harder. Or an NHL one? I might have one bonus NHL.
All right, he's got a bonus NHL because he's got to follow up with that big winner for us. That was a good one. He came in with that nice dog on the show. So we got a game tonight here at 7 Eastern Time. Nationals here to host the Braves. As you expect, the Braves about a minus 200, total 8.5.
Yeah, and you look at this one, and when you first look at this one, you look, Jake Odorizzi gets the start for the Braves. And he's 1-3 on the year with a 5.97 ERA with a 1.62 WHIP. He averages about 4 innings of work. And then you look Josiah Gray. He gets to start 7-2 on his starts this season, 5.17 ERA. So if you look at the just surface of those numbers, and you're thinking you're going to see 15 runs scored in this game, well, I'm going to think that these two guys have a better start than what they have been. And we get a lower scoring game because you look recently, the last few games, you look Washington, their last 8, 6-1-1 to the under. The Braves 6-4, their last 10 to the under. And the Braves 8-2 to the under, following a win in their last 10. They're also 7-3 to that under versus a right-handed pitcher. And then you look at the Washington side, and Washington's 6-0 to that under in their last 6 home games versus a right-handed starter. They're also 7-1-2 in their last 10 to the under, and they're also 18-4 in their last 22 games versus a right-handed starter. The under is also 3-1 in the last 4 meetings between these two. On the surface, this looks like you should be jumping the over and running to the window, waving all you got. I'm going to take the under. I'm going to go contrarian and take the under 8.5. I think we have a lower scoring one in our hands here. 4-mile-an-hour wind. I don't think that's going to affect too much. Humidity 58%, so that's not going to help carrying the ball. Yeah, I like the under. Give us the under 8.5.
All right, under 8.5 here with the Braves and the Nationals here from Rod Zawacky. You do have the Braves bullpen going for you because the Braves bullpen has been pretty good. If not mistaken, I think I saw that the Nationals bullpen has actually put up some pretty good numbers as well. As I was kind of looking at that game. I know I was so caught up in Josiah. Of course, Josiah Gray is going to be your sweat, right? He's the home run machine.
Correct. If you can get through these first 2 starting pitchers, and you're looking at maybe a 2-2, 2-1, maybe a 3-1, and you're not getting. You don't want to see 4 run innings, 5 run innings, and that'll wipe you out real quick. And it'll be a rocket chair loser before you know it. But so you just need these 2 pitchers to go their 4 innings and hold the runs down, 1-2 runs apiece, and then I think the bullpens come in and shut things down, and the offense is both bats are quiet. I don't think they're trying to have a big slugfest in this one, so that's why I like the 8.5 here.
Yeah, as I thought, the both bullpens strong here. You look at the Braves over the last 10 games, 1.40. The Nationals, listen to this, not 19 not 10.99, but 1.99. Somehow, some way, they've been able to get the bullpen coming through with them.
Yeah, the bullpens come through and hold teams down late. Like, not a lot of late scoring for either of these two teams. As we've seen, it went to 8. It was like just got over last night. It was 8-2. So.
The game went under 8-0. I mean, the Nats have scored just 2 runs in this series, and they've been held to 2 runs or fewer in 6 of 8. So it's been pretty ugly. Right? But when you look at the lineups, you need to look at a minor league program to identify some of these guys in their lineup the last couple of nights too.
That's lots of baseball this time of year. You got to identify with the minor league lineups and see how they're doing in the minor leagues, because you got lots of call-up guys. They want to see how they're doing before the end of the season to see if they're going to make some prospects or some jumps for next season. That's why we got some of these guys that we're like, really? We got this game going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we certainly do. All right, we got Braves Nats under total of 8.5. This one will have a start time here at 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Rod, let's take over at Pick Dodge Premium for tonight. We're doing great profit in the NFL this season. As you can see here, 410 units of profit for Rod Zawacky in the NFL for this season. Of course, NFL kicks off again tomorrow, but tonight we got still a third. Well, actually, we're going to be down to a 12-game card. KC and Detroit's about to start here in about a minute or two. So what do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Every over at Pick Dogs Premium, we crushed the Bookie Buster yesterday. So today's $15 Bookie Buster. You can scoop it up as the solo play over at Pick Dogs Premium. I also have 3 more plays in tonight's MLB action. I like you get my MLB Diamond Triple. We'll give you 3 more plays in the MLB. Love those plays tonight. I already got my Thursday night football game of the month up. You can scoop it up over at Pick Dogs Premium. Or like we said, now's the time. Grab a 3-day, grab a 7-day, grab a 30-day. That 3-day pass, like Ruffolo said, will get you right on through college football. I've already put in my Saturday college football. Just have to get those into a package up for sale. So head on over. Pick Dogs Premium. Got a big loaded weekend. I'm excited for this weekend's action.
That's right, guys. I got aboard here. Rod Zawacky over at Pick Dogs Premium, of course, showing great profit here in the NFL for this season. Also showing profit the last 3 days. Showing profit in college football as well. So good time to get on board with Rod Zawacky over at Pick Dogs. As Rod was mentioning tonight, he's got that Bookie Buster up there, $15 Bookie Buster. Right, he crushed it yesterday. So with the Yankees, he's ready to crush it again tonight. Of course, that is credit guarantee, which means it must turn a profit, must win, or the amount you purchased is credited back into your account for site credits. That's what credit guarantee means. Of course, that site credit can be used on any of the cappers over at Pick Dogs. So you've got that up there on the board. That's how it works here for the individual plays and the one-day passes. Not so on the long-term passes because they're already sold at a discount. So Rod's got that up there. He's already in action here with his Thursday night game of the month up there. He likes this play here from tomorrow's game here from Thursday Night Football. Also sold as credit guarantee, standalone play up there. Of course, you've got the 3-pack here tonight from baseball from Rod Zawacky. Or if you prefer, get the long-term pass. The way Rod's been running right now, you may want to consider that 1-month all sports pass, or what Rod has put together, a very creative package up there. He calls it his 3+1. It's his pro package. You get in college, you got NFL and college football, NHL and NBA. It's entire season passes here, 3+1 here for affordable price there, Rod. That's pretty good value that you put together.
Great value there for everybody. Plays the price is less than $1 a play. Easily, that'll equate to for all 4 seasons of that. Especially when you use the promo code WIN15, you get $15 off that. That drops $150 right off the top. So, like I said, that works out to just a little over $200 a season. So, you can't miss out on that. As you can profit in where we do profit in the NFL, profit in college football, NHL. We made profit last season. We're looking to build on that and get even more profit this season. So that package will pay for itself in no time. Jump aboard.
Jump aboard. That 3+1 NFL, NHL, college football, NBA season passes includes all postseason, entire season from those sports. So get on board right now with Rod Zawacky. WIN15 at checkout. We'll take $150 off that price right now over at Pick Dogs. So get signed up. All right, Rod, as always, great having you show. Keep up the great work. We'll talk with you again tomorrow. I know you also we'll talk again on Friday. I know you also are part of the morning show, but we're not gonna let you go before you get that bonus, right?
Oh, exactly, right? I didn't forget. Definitely did not forget about the little bonus play that we got going. So definitely thanks for having me. And here's the bonus play. You look, I hate the Calgary Flames. You know me, I hate the Calgary Flames. But you look at tonight's lineup for the Edmonton Oilers going, and the Edmonton Oilers will not be playing Connor McDavid, Sile, Zach Hyman, Dunners, Cody Ceci, Jack Campbell will not play this game tonight. They will not even be playing. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins won't play. Yamamoto won't play. Jesse Puljujarvi won't play. Kulak won't play. Evan Bouchard won't play. They're all going to remain in Edmonton for the bounce-back game on Friday night. So we're going to take the Calgary Flames tonight. Take them on the puck line. Going to be a tough game for the Oilers. It's going to look like we've seen against the Kraken the night before, which was 3-0. This could easily be 5-0, 6-0. Take the Calgary Flames on the puck line. They're starting their top number 1 line. Kadri's going to play. Markstrom's going to play. All the guys for Calgary, not for Edmonton. They're all saving those guys. They're saving those guys for Friday night game. Take the Oilers.
And tonight, what do you think, Kings and Sharks? I'm going to that one tonight. The Sharks played last night, right? So they're going to rest guys, and the Kings have their top guys in the lineup, right?
Right, and Jonathan Quick starting tonight for
Yes.
the Kings, and we seen what he did last year, and he was that bright shining spot for the Kings. So yeah, I like the Kings tonight as well.
Kings.
That's the thing in the preseason NHL hockey. The best thing to do is look for that goalie matchup. You want to find, because that's where you'll find them. You'll find such a tilt where this goalie's playing compared to this goalie, and you're like, wow, they don't even come close to playing like being on the same level, and that's where you find the spots in preseason. Yes, it's tough, and then you got to dig and look to see who's playing in the lineups. But so far, this early preseason, they've been giving them out early. So
Yeah.
I've been finding spots to make some good money.
Especially they're putting these teams on back-to-backs. They're home road back-to-backs. At home they're going to play the superstars. On the road they're going to rest their guys.
Well, yeah, exactly, right? Like on Friday night, I'm going to go to the game on Friday night, and I'm going to see the superstars because everybody at home wants to see the superstars. So they're not playing them tonight. So you take Calgary in this one as they're going to beat up on the small. It's rookies. It's
on the eight. What's the AAA team in Edmonton? What do they call it? It's the Calgary Flames against the. Who's
against the? Is it the Spit? Not the Spitfires. The Oil Kings. It may be the
Oil
Edmonton
Kings.
Oil Kings.
Okay, so the Oil Kings will be on the ice, so that's what we're going to see. All right, that's what we got.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, Ron, have a great night. We'll tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time for that morning show, and we'll talk with you again on Steak Friday.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see everybody on Friday. Thanks for having me. Appreciate everybody. Make sure you smash that thumbs up. Smash that thumbs up. Cost you nothing. Helps us at a time. Thanks, everybody. See you guys tomorrow morning.
See you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time with Rod and the morning crew there with Mitch and Chris. Guys, we're getting a lot of people tuning in the show right now. If you missed any of our picks, we'll do a complete recap here at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Mitch will help me out with that. Let's go ahead and welcome in Mitch right now. If I'm over at Pick Dogs Premium, part of the morning crew there with Chris and Rod. Bring him in right now. Mitch, what's happening? Got you on mute, Mitch.
I was muted. I was taking Al Ninos' place. We're just wishing Al Ninos all the best and safety in the storm. It looks to be horrific. If those of you haven't tuned on the Weather Channel or whatever, it just looks about as bad as it gets. So we wish Al, and Ron Romanelli and everyone that's possibly in harm's way, good luck with it. And of course, they know anything I could do to help. Just I'm right here. So.
That's the kind of guy Mitch is, no doubt.
So, anyways, but aside from that, just riding out the last week of baseball and trying to, get it together with football. And, we got hockey, as Rod was talking about, NBA on the 18th of October, and then college basketball November 7th. So, we don't usually front load or we don't usually load up on football like a lot of the other sites do. We just treat it as another sport. Of course, we treat it as football, and we give it a good amount of attention, but we're not all in on football like some of the other sites. We're we love our NBA and we love our college basketball.
Oh, yes.
And,
yeah, I mean, the thing is,
we have guys that just do hockey.
Yeah, like in our show here, we're Monday through Friday, so we do a lot. We have a lot of coverage here in the NBA. Matter of fact, when we had that little bit of lull in early October, we'll be doing some NBA season win totals. Look for some futures in the NBA. So we're really we'll concentrate a lot in NBA here as we get that little lull in October where we don't have a lot of weekday action, but of course a lot of it will be a few playoff games here and there until we get to the full hockey season and the full NBA season. So we'll have some NBA season win totals, and as I said, we cover it on the drive through NBA really, really thoroughly.
Yeah, James Clark was saying, I'm off to a slow start in football. I'm like, yeah, if anyone had your baseball and NBA records, I don't think it's like he hasn't been doing it long enough to realize you're not supposed to just kill every single sport, It's like,
I know.
It's pretty unbelievable.
I know. It's amazing what he's done in 2 years there over at Pick Dogs, and the growth and the numbers that we've seen. It's just amazing. It was we had him on the show on that. He had a good call in that West Virginia game. He laid the alternate point spread -6.5. If it's a drop back quarterback, West Virginia has no problem. Sure enough, they pounded Virginia Tech in that one.
They absolutely slaughtered them, and big game this week for West Virginia coming up, of course, should be a pretty good college football slate. Of course, we did our NFL show this afternoon with Big Al and with Jay, and it's a good mix. It's like kind of like, I have like all the history on it. Big Al has like all the stats and everything. And Jay is kind of, he's newer and he's more excited. And, he has like a fresher look on things, and a very
those Cowboys.
Texas slant, very Texas slant to things.
Oh, yeah.
The
big star. He likes that. He likes that team with the star logo. He loves them.
He definitely does.
Game tonight, a team that we're not too in love with, these Mets here, is we talk about the teams that choke down. When you have 6 teams qualify for the playoffs, there's always going to be some of these teams that really go backwards. We saw that with Seattle Mariners and these Mets team. So it looks like they're really going to screw up their postseason and might have to play in this wild card the way they're looking here. They're hosting the Marlins here. Mets minus 190, total 6.5.
Yeah, I just like the way the Marlins kind of are finishing things off, and I like the way that they played last night against the Mets. And I think betting against Buck Showalter in meaningful games, with the Mets tied now for the division lead with the Braves, I think betting against Buck Showalter in spots like this is generally where the value can be found, because he's certainly more than capable of blowing, situations like this against a lot less than what he faces here with the Marlins. And while the Marlins don't hit the ball, they sure as hell hit it last night against Carrasco, who I would say is a better pitcher than Taijuan Walker. And when we have Jesus Luzardo going for the Marlins, I mean, he hasn't been perfect, by any stretch of the imagination, but he's a luxury item for the Marlins. I mean, he spent most of the year in the minors this year. So I just think that, last year when they were trading Marte, they basically had a lot of options and a lot of choices. And this is a team that's done really well with their starting pitching. And they decided that instead of, picking up a bunch of position players or a bunch of options that they had, the guy they took from Marte was Luzardo. So I think he's got a super high end. I think we saw Pablo Lopez's high end last night, and the Mets have a way of bringing that out at people, and I'm going to take the Marlins here. We're getting big money here.
Yeah, it's a big underdog here with Mitch here on this one. He's coming in with the Marlins here at a big plus price. We'll get the pick up here for you. Plus 164 here against the Mets. Is it kind of moving money here on the Mets? Yeah, with Luzardo. It was the Oakland Athletics who gave up on Luzardo, right? They just put him on waivers, and Miami, sure enough, picked him up. I guess they made up for that screw-up they did when they traded away Gallen in that, was it 2019? That was that year everyone thought Greinke to Houston was the best trade, and that Gallen move over to Florida was probably, I thought, the better trade during that trade deadline.
Yeah, I think so as well. You could only imagine what this Marlins pitching staff would be if it had Gallen and Jose Fernandez, right?
Yeah, Fernandez.
So it would be pretty good. But I think the Marlins are gonna, have some decisions to make. They have this deep pitching staff, starting pitching at least, and I think at a certain point you need some bats. But I mean, this is the team that traded Miguel Cabrera as well, and Anibal Sanchez in his prime.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And of course, what do you see here with the management turnover here? We know Manley's is leaving. They're allowing to play out the season after 7 years. Who do you think would take this job over in Miami?
Well, I think there's a lot of available candidates, but the way that the Marlins have done it in the past is they get a guy with a lot of experience and that's able to kind of get some of these young guys playing together. And then the other time that they did it was they did it by putting a bunch of stars together. So the Marlins have 2 World Series in recent history, and I think they'll find some guy that has a ton of experience like that can come in, and whether it's Joe Madden or somebody else, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, we'll see how it works here. Nice young team. Marlins plus 164 here against the Mets, and this one will start here at looks like the top of the hour here with this game. All right, Mitch, what's going on over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place? As we're into the first 3 or 4 weeks here of the NFL, college football is moving quickly. We're already into week 5, but it moves quickly, and of course, basketball coming up too as well.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on at Pick Dogs and at SportsChatPlace.com. I've showed everybody the new logo at Sports Chat Place. That's just part of our redesign that we're doing on both sites. It's going to take a little bit. That's how these things are with tech, but we are working on that sort of thing. We also have some new video series that are going to be coming out, pounding our YouTube. We are the most watched sports betting YouTube channel, and I will continue to say that as much as the other guys will talk about that they are, but the numbers don't lie. And, when we're doing 3.85 million views a month and they're doing 1.1, I don't see how they're the most viewed YouTube channel. because subscribers don't mean viewers, right? They just mean that somebody 8 years ago subscribed to your channel. It's a vanity number, but we don't unsubscribe our people, but at the same time, we don't tell people not to subscribe. But I don't know.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, Mitch, we're at the top of that. Let's get to the recap here right now. We'll talk a little bit more here. Let's go ahead and bring up the picks here. We got the Chris on the Yankees, Blue Jays over 7. Al McMordie here, the Dodgers here, minus 142 against the Padres. Sean here was D-backs, Astros under 6.5. Do your shopping because there are some 6 in the marketplace as well. Rod here, Braves, Nationals under 8.5. Dana could not make the show, was a late scratch. Mitch was on the Marlins, plus 164. I'm on the Cubs here, plus 166. All right, Mitch, other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
I like that Cubs pick against the Phillies. I think fading these National League East teams seems to be pretty good. I really like the over in that Diamondbacks-Astros game, though. Verlander and Gallen. Just seems too low. Too low. So I'm going to take the other side. I like Al's pick of the Dodgers, too. I like the Yankees Blue Jays over with Cole and White. I like all these picks. I would actually round robin all of them.
All of them. There you go. Round robin all of them. Yep.
Maybe we should do that on this show. Is get a betting account and just put in $10 and we'll just pick out somebody from the audience every day, and we'll figure out a way to pick someone out from the audience and we'll give them that $10 round robin parlay or $5 round robin parlay or something of all of the picks on the show. We'll have to figure it out, however to do it. But I think it would be pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that'd be a pretty cool thing. No, that'd be a lot of fun. Absolutely. And I would chime in here with Al McMordie, LA Dodger. Urias has been the man. He may fall short of that 20-game win. He's at 17 wins here, but Urias has just been the guy, man. No doubt about that. All right.
Yeah, he has been outstanding. Doesn't get a lot of credit, doesn't get mentioned with a lot of the other guys, but he's still young. We talked about it before. I think of all the pitchers out there, he likely has the best shot at 300.
Yeah. And I like the fact that he works well. He's great on the road, home and away. And away, he's not just one of those pitchers that has a sharp.
He gets a lot of decisions. And it's like that's what you have to do. It's like he pitches in the right spot in the rotation. That he generally is the better pitcher of the two, and he takes advantage of it. And he gets a 3 or 4 run lead. The Dodgers hold on to it, and he gets the win.
The bullpen does help out a lot too. The bullpen does help out these, especially now when you go 5, 6, 7 innings. These bullpens helping out, no doubt about that. I know we like to do a quick run around here with Mitch. Back in we do a little reminiscence of the old days of college football. Illinois, Wisconsin, Mitch. Wisconsin down to 7 in this one.
Yeah, I like Illinois in this one. I think that Brett Bielema in his rematch against Wisconsin, where he used to coach, I think that he's got a solid chance of doing some damage. This Badger team not very good this year.
No, it did not, and that's a tough spot here after you just got pounded there by Ohio State. That was a pretty bad loss there. And, of course, remember the Badgers did have that loss to Washington State as well. No doubt about that. Here's one here. Purdue at Minnesota. Minnesota's getting a lot of respect in the marketplace, as they should. I thought they got a lot of respect last week. Laying 3 points on the road at Michigan State, and they just pounded the Spartans. Now they're at home laying 11.5 against Purdue.
Yeah, that Michigan State looked absolutely terrible. And, Minnesota has looked really good. You always got to be worried about the flexor, though, because it's like he's going to play it close to the vest. He's never going, he rarely has that killer instinct, but this year he looks to at least have it. But it's just because his team is rolling downhill in a lot of these games. It will be interesting to see what he does in a tighter one.
And that's when you got to worry about Tanner Morgan. If they stop the run on you, and you need that quarterback, keep him under 20 attempts, he's okay. But when he's at 30, 35, they're in trouble.
Well, to all my haters out there, I had Michigan State last week, so you could throw that in my face. Throw it in my face. I deserve it. Kick some sand in my face, even though you didn't have the balls to pick anything,
Oh, but yeah. It's after the fact, right? You just love those comments. After the fact, when they come in and tell you how bad your pick was, right?
100% of the time. 100%.
That's right. 100% of the time. I win 100% of the games. I get to pick after they're over, and those are a lot of the YouTube comments.
Oh, and anyone that's ever seen me in Vegas, I usually have a stack of tickets, so I throw plenty of those in the garbage too. And like the ones that win, I cash, and the other ones, I throw them all in the garbage. It's like I don't want them touching the other live ones or the winners. It's like don't contaminate the rest of my tickets.
Oklahoma at TCU here. The Sooners here are going to lay 6.5 on the road from an open of 5 to 6.5. So money coming on the Sooners.
They generally bounce back pretty good from the Kansas State game. Normally they'll get some favorable calls and some things like that. TCU's not a bad team, though, and I could see them taking it to them as well. I could see this one. I like the over in this thing.
Navy, I liked Navy last week. I should have made it a premium. I'm kicking myself because, remember, they did this last year when they came off the bye week. They played better, and they did the same thing. And they've owned East Carolina. If you go back and look at the head-to-head meetings, they've just absolutely owned East Carolina. Now they're going into Air Force. Air Force had that real bad game against Wyoming. 14, the total 37.5.
Yeah, the Navy has looked bad against the better teams, and East Carolina, who has the quarterback issues that we've talked about for the last 4 years, of the same guy. Air Force seems to be the type of team that they don't have to take advantage of every opportunity they have. It's like they'll fumble going into the end zone, they'll drop the interception that goes into the hands of the other receiver, and they still cover. It's like, and I think against Navy, these Commander-in-Chiefs games, it's like you always think that, there'll be sportsmanship because they're another service guy. No way. They love to rub the face in, especially Air Force, who seems to be like the bastard stepchild of the three. It's like the Navy Air Force or the Army Air Force game never gets the respect like the Army Navy game does.
Yeah, that's right.
This kind of is that, it never does. Like they get a separate day, for their game. It's like Air Force,
game.
It's like Air Force will be lucky if they get a week 0 game.
That's true, no doubt. Here's one here. Good. These noon starts here, noon Eastern starts have been pretty good the last 2 weeks now.
Loaded card.
Yeah.
Loaded card.
We got 58 FBS versus FBS. Michigan and Iowa here. Michigan opened 9.5. We've now seen it go up to 10.5. We've seen the total dip about to 42.5.
I think we have to give Jim Harbaugh some credit where credit is due, is that he's really coaching his team well in the fundamentals. I think this Iowa not having any offense is going to be a problem, but this game might be very, very low scoring also. I think Iowa's going to be able to stop Michigan's offense. The Michigan quarterback thing, the whole, we're not sure who our quarterback is. It's because neither of them is good enough to go ahead and just take that job. And, the running back is really, really slippery. He is really good. Corum, I think his name is. Man, is he slippery. He is good.
And a little worried about Petrus here at quarterback here for Iowa. Only 51% completion rate. It's not been pretty this year.
But I think with McNamara at quarterback for Michigan that Iowa will probably get some chances on some turnovers. He seems to throw the ball a little high into over the middle. High and over the middle is not a good.
And the competition is getting much fierce now. And here's a game that should be primetime. I mean, they're putting this early. It's Ole Miss hosting Kentucky. Well, maybe because Kentucky's really playing the part now. This is a really good game. Probably so far my favorite one in that noon slot. Ole Miss here 6.5, total 53.5.
Kentucky seems to start 6-0 every year now. You could almost mark them down for 6-0. And I said this to Romanelli before the Florida game, that it was, that they just seem to start 6-0 every single year now. And, Stoops has them playing well, and Kentucky's going to be a basketball school, and, they could go 15-0 or 20-0 and win the national championship, and it's still going to be a basketball school. But I think that, I think Lane Kiffin, the Ole Miss team, not quite the same team that he had last year. And it's because of the quarterback. That Corral was really good. This Dart, he's okay. He's not as good. Not even close.
And if you notice, look at the stat sheets. They're running the ball a lot at Ole Miss. I mean, they're almost running as much as they passed it last year. So I don't know if that's an issue with Dart, or maybe Kiffin doesn't want to show his cards too much to some of the competition out there, running the ball as much as he's doing so far.
Well, I think he does really well when he has a really good running back and a giant offensive line. So we'll see what he's made of.
Here's one here. Oregon State here at Utah. Nolan with those picks last week. It was a tough loss for them. They were competitive against the Trojans. They had the ball in hands. They had a shot to win it. They held that USC offense in check. Now they're going into probably the toughest place to win in the Pac-12 the last several years, and that's Utah. Utah open 11.5, now down to 10.5.
Yeah, Utah is a good team, and I think this Utah team has the killer instinct. I had them last week in that late night game. I'm going to continue to ride them as teams don't have any faith in them. They're going to slaughter USC this year.
Yeah, that looks that way. Northwestern has some really disappointing defeats here against some lesser teams. A loss to an FCS team, they lose to a MAC team. Now they're getting 26.5 as they go into Happy Valley against Penn State.
Penn State just suffered such a tough team to figure out. I loved Central Michigan last week against Penn State, but I don't know if I love Northwestern as much. Northwestern generally, though, does get up for the better teams and seems to lay down against the lesser teams.
Yeah, that's be the case there.
But probably it's like I could see Penn State slaughtering them though.
Some good games at 3:30 here. We Big 12. These Big 12 games are getting bigger and bigger this season as the teams are playing well. Iowa State at Kansas here. Kansas getting 3 here at home against the Cyclones.
It is amazing that with Texas and Oklahoma leaving the Big 12, that neither of those teams are really going to be relevant here to the Big 12 title anyway. And it's kind of like it's nice to have those teams in your conference because they are kind of name brands. But actually, when it comes to actually winning games and stuff, and with an expanded playoff, they're way better off without those guys in this conference. And a team like Kansas is playing extremely well. And Iowa State on the road, I don't know. I'd give them a shot. Why not? I'll take Kansas at home with the points. 4-0 against the numbers so far. Why not?
Yeah, why not indeed. Oklahoma State here at Baylor. This is another good game here. The thing that really Baylor here laying 1.5, and it stays at the opening number here. There are some twos in the marketplace, but the thing that bothers me the most is that second half they had against was it Central Michigan, where they looked terrible. They weren't really in danger of losing the game. It's just that they just did not play well in that second half, giving up 44 points in total. But it was a game in hand for Oklahoma State. But Baylor here favored by 1.5 at home.
Baylor's just tough as nails. Last week we saw them, win a game that a lot of people didn't think that they had much of a chance against Iowa State. And I had Baylor in that game, and that Dave Aranda is a great coach. And he makes no excuses. He doesn't listen to anybody else's opinion on what he should have done or could have done, or that when they ask him why he did what he did or whatever, he just ignores the question and acts like he just starts talking about his players and stuff, which is great because he is a good coach, so he doesn't really have to answer those questions and be second guessed by these people that really don't know much. But Oklahoma State, coming off a bye week, right? So it's like they should be well rested. But Oklahoma State looks better than they did last year. But it all comes down to Sanders, and Sanders against the Dave Aranda coach team. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's going to come down. Yeah.
That's not a good idea. And if you got run over by Central Michigan, on the ground, you're going to get run over by Baylor.
Yeah, that's the game that sticks in my head. I said, they look so terrible in that second half there against that Central Michigan game. It was ugly, no doubt about that. And of course, Oklahoma State here coming in, wins again. Now, they beat that FCS team, Arkansas Pine Bluff is who they faced. They beat Arizona State, Central Michigan. So this is really one of their tougher one of their step-up games of the year. A few more here with Mitch. Wake Forest at Florida State here. Wake Forest trying to bounce back from that tough one against Clemson. Florida State here doing it on both sides of the football when you look at their stats. 6.5 point favorite, up from 6, total 64.5, down from 66.
You might want to keep an eye on this one as far as when the game will be played and if the game will be played. So you might not want to bet it too early. I think that this game could potentially be moved or canceled or both. It's not in a good location and it's not on a good day. So I think that they might have some problems with this one. But I think that if they do play, I think that Wake Forest looks like pretty much a bargain here. I think that Florida State has improved. They're good. They always have good athletes, but they always have a lot of speed. But Sam Hartman can keep you in a game.
Yeah, there was some talk that possibly moved to Sunday. That's what I heard earlier. So we'll keep an eye on that as Mitch is keep an eye there on the schedule. Alabama, Arkansas, one of the featured games here at 3:30 Eastern time. Alabama opens 16.5. They've been bet up now to 17.5. The total's come down to 16.5.
Well, when you look at Arkansas's step-up games last year, they weren't pretty. That Georgia game, certainly, I mean, if it's all you could really think about, is like the blocked punts and everything else. I mean, they scored every which way possible on them. And, so for the Hogs, the line's there for a reason. It's because, every time they've been tested like this, they haven't been able to withstand it. But I think they've got a shot against this Alabama team that in their last road trip did not look good.
Especially against the pass. They give a lot of passing yards there to Texas in that game, and they scooped out the victory.
Not a good Texas team. Not a great Texas team either.
No, not we just saw that recently with Texas not looking too sharp there. I'm going to give you this one here. Texas A&M.
Steve Sarkisian, it's like
I know.
I mean, there's certain things in the world of football that we live to bet against. Steve Sarkisian, is one of those. Trey Lance, I got 73 minutes out of his entire NFL career. Out of waiting it out for so long, I ended up with 73 minutes of football. Got injured 13 minutes into a second game, and now we just have Jimmy G to fade there. But then, I think that we could possibly make that up here, though, with Steve Sarkisian, because I think Texas is a little bit overrated. I'm still looking for that prop on the Arch Manning transfer.
Yeah, that's no doubt about that one. All right, Mitch, Texas A&M and Mississippi State here. With Mississippi State bet up from 2.5 to 3.5, a low total of 45.5.
Texas A&M has not looked good, and Jimbo Fisher just seems lost there as a head coach. I don't think they have the guns to run with Mississippi State. If Mississippi State gets rolling on that offense, cowbells are going to be ringing. And why? How is Texas A&M, ranked 17th in the nation, and Mississippi State not ranked at all? Mississippi State's one loss was at LSU in a game that they were in all the way, and then Texas A&M barely beat Sam Houston State, and they lost outright to App State at home. I don't see it.
We'll jump to this prime time here. LSU and Auburn. LSU up here from 7.5 point favorites on the road now to 9.5. Total stays the same here at 45.5.
I think the Brian Harsin story is over in Auburn. I think that this is a guy that is just in a bad spot. And aside from that, he doesn't have anything on his resume that ties him anything remotely close to this program or these people. Believe me, he's fired. He's got to beat Alabama or he's fired. He's not going. He will not last.
7:30 Eastern. Clemson here hosting NC State. Clemson from 7 down to 6.5. Total low here from 46 down to 39.5. What a move there to the under.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. This one should have some weather. This one is potentially another weather game too. If the storm moves quicker, then it's going to be right in this neck of the woods too. So another one you're going to want to watch out for. But anyway, you slice it. Going into Death Valley at night is not a good place, and NC State hasn't shown that they can do that sort of thing. Their one road game this year they didn't cover.
All right, we got West Virginia at Texas at 7:30. Texas opened 10 down to 9.5. The total's ticked up from 61.5 to 62.5.
I'm with James Clark here. I'm going to moneyline West Virginia on this thing. It's I'm just going to fade Steve Sarkisian until the wheels fall off, until they don't allow us to fade him anymore and he goes off to his next program. First, he'll be a coordinator for somebody. He'll look good in that role, and then they'll say, well, he couldn't win at Washington, USC, or Texas. Three prime jobs, but maybe he'll win here. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Stanford has let down a lot of people this year. They're going to get 17 here going to Oregon.
They had such a chance to cover against USC on that final drive and just couldn't get it done. And I don't see them covering against the Ducks either. He who shall not be named with the nice rally last week against Washington State. I think the Ducks continue to ride that momentum.
Game that has been moved to Sunday is SMU at Central Florida. Central Florida here's 3.5.
It's a good game. It's a 1:00 start, and I don't know if it's going to be on TV. Maybe it's on CBS Sports Network or something. But this should be a good one. I like Central Florida here at home.
All right, then of course the Eastern Washington Florida game has been moved to Sunday as well. So those are the two schedule changes so far. Keep your eye out on the schedule. There'll be some more based on the weather happening.
Yeah, I don't understand how Florida State's not moved. They're holding on for dear life on that one. Must be on ABC.
It's one of those prime. Yeah, it's got to be one of those ESPN games where they don't want to lose that slot. Obviously, if it's a 3:30 Eastern game, so I'm thinking it's got to be, if it's ACC, it's either ESPN or ABC. You're right, that's a slot. It's going up against Alabama, Arkansas, though.
It's like, look, nothing could happen. We could play the game and nothing could happen at all, or the entire stadium could get wiped out by a gust of wind. That's really this game.
Oh, no, yeah, I know. I hear you. All right, Mitch, it's always great having you on the show. Anything else going on you'd like to talk about? I know we've got the morning shows. You've got the video series that have been good, the 7 picks in 5 minutes, throwing in some props as well in that.
Yeah, we now have 7 props in under 7 minutes. I tried to do it in 5 minutes. Not gonna lie to you people and call it in 5 minutes when I barely getting it in 7. The props just take a little bit longer because I have to kind of explain them to people. I feel the need to. I think it helps some of the newer bettors, and also I think some of the reasoning as to why I choose those actual props from the betting tools helps. Like when there's something that comes in 50-50 and you're getting 4-1 on your money, it doesn't mean that the probability of it hitting is that great. It just means that the payout is better, than it should be. And so you have to try and at least take advantage of that. So I'm doing that. We have a hockey rundown coming. With Ruffolo and Zawacky in Ron's rundown style. We'll have a college basketball Ron's rundown. I'll be doing the NBA rundown, be doing also video picks, and we will also be doing videos in other languages.
Nice.
We're going to go international with our videos. Good. So if you speak another language like Mandarin Chinese or something, come on over.
Apply. Don't say it too loud, Mitch. You don't want it in before you know it. You got to keep that. To the vest, brother. No, competition. Or they can't get it out. They can't do it anyway.
They can't beat us. It's like there's no chance.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. All right, Mitch. It's always great having you on the show. Have a great week. We'll catch up again next week.
Everyone, have a great week. Thanks, Tony.
You got it. Mitch here on the drive-thru. All right, guys. Bonus coverage. We do our little college football rundown here at the end of the drive-thru on Wednesdays, guys. So I'm glad you stuck with us. We covered the recap long ago, but again, I'll show the picks in case we still have games in action. Of course, we know the Yankees, Blue Jays have began. The Yankees are already up 2-0, so that over looks good as it got 2 runners on. Mitch White is being Mitch White. He's being Mitch White already. 2 runners on, and looks like a double play ball here. They turn 2, so they move. Oh, safe. So runners at first and third here as it's 2-0 Yankees. So looking so good so far. Okay, this is still in play here. Dodgers minus 142 against the Padres. Sean was on the D-backs. And the Astros under 6.5. And, of course, the Braves Nationals underway. Marlins Mets underway. Cubs Phillies, I believe, will be starting here shortly. Let me double check here. I think Cubs Phillies are going to start one of those weird 4:40 starts. Yeah, the Cubs game will be starting here in just about 20 minutes. So that one is still in play there. And, of course, we know the Marlins Mets have begun. But we got some plays for you guys. So, again, thanks for joining us here on the drive-thru. We'll be back again here tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do it all over again for Thursday. We'll bring in our cappers here from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. We'll have a lot of baseball. It's a 10-game card tomorrow. And let me just check here on the times. We should have enough coverage for you guys in baseball. It looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 afternoon games. So we're going to have 5 games on the board from baseball tomorrow. But remember, we've got a college football game and the NFL. So we'll have some pieces here, about 7 pieces to talk about. And of course, don't forget a lot of the cappers like to come in with their props for Thursday Night Football, so we'll definitely have a good coverage there for you as well. So maybe we have some. I don't think we'll have NHL preseason because Rod is not on the show tomorrow. He'll be back Friday, but we'll have some great picks for you guys. 5 baseball games to choose from, an NFL and a college football game. That'll do it here for this edition of the Drive-Thru. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live at 6 each time. We'll do it all over again. I'll bring in the cappers here from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place to give out live free picks for the games in prime time. And don't forget, it gets started every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. It's the morning show. You got Mitch, you got Rod, you got Chris, and of course Mitch's video series. He has his 7 picks in 5 minutes. He also has his, the plays here from Ron Romelli, his rundown. We got the parlay from Javon. We've got the MMA show on Saturdays. We've got Brad as well as Mills doing that for you. So guys, make sure you tune in. And of course, don't forget the college football show with Ron Romanelli, Mitch, and of course Chris on that one. Of course, the NFL show with Big L. We got Jay, and we also have Mitch. So a lot of video series right now at Pick Dogs. So guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and set those notifications so when these videos drop, you watch them. There's a lot of great content here on the channel. All right, that's going to do it for the show tonight, guys. Let's